Alhaji Lai Mohammed, let me quickly draw your attention to this very statement from the PDP, because the concern here is that it looks so much that the anti-corruption fight of your government is only bedeviling one side of the political class. I mean, portraying your party as a party of saints, isn't it?
No.
But we've never seen, does it mean that none of your party members have ever stolen funds from the public coffers?
Sure. You see, it would be wrong of me on this platform to start mentioning names of members of Party A or Party B that have been accused of corruption. But if you simply pay more attention and see those who are coming and out of court, and you will know which parties they belong to. And one thing is clear. Corruption in Nigeria cuts across religion, cuts across ethnicity, cuts across political parties. Now, having said this, we do not micromanage the anti-graft agencies.
But it's funded by the presidency.
Look, no, they make their budget like any other organization.
But it's signed off by the presidency.
No, sir.
It's under the presidency, sir.
The EFCC.
Yes.
So does the president now ask them who to go and arrest?
But the president is responsible to who becomes the EFCC chairman.
Just as the president is responsible, and the Senate is responsible for who becomes the Chief Justice of the Federation.
Does he not clearly state that the president controls every aspect of the anti-graft setup?
Absolutely not. It does not say so. You see, I am government, and I can tell you authoritatively that this government does not, tell EFCC who to arrest and not to arrest. And what should interest Nigerians, honestly, is are these people who are being arraigned, are they being arraigned falsely or not? Two, it also beggars, belief that in Nigeria, when people are accused of corruption, they are not in a hurry to prove their innocence. Rather, they employ all kinds of tactics to, prolong their trial. If a person is accused of corruption and is genuinely innocent, he will be concerned and will be worried. What you want to do is that you want to quickly prove his innocence. But what do we have today? What we have today is that the average prosecution for a high-profile public official is between 7 years and infinity. Sorry, actually between 10 years and infinity. You'll be shocked that we have not been able to get any closure on any indictment in the last 7 years. Why? Because they are not in a hurry to even prove their innocence. What they try to do is to deploy all kinds of tactics to make sure that their prosecution will outlast any administration.
Well, let me quickly ask you, isn't it also worrying that the government is employing every tactic to also keep people, even when they get bail? For example, an arrest and rearrest of people whom court has granted bail. Isn't that also worrying in a democratic setting?
At times it bothers me how even enlightened people like you would send a narrative like this. Rule of law is not a shield against corruption. Rule of law is not a defense against corruption. Rule of law simply means there should be no arbitrariness and nobody should be above the law. The very fact that all these accused people are in court is evidence that this government believes in rule of law. However, we have tried to model issues. If a person is granted bail on allegations of ABC, right? If the government comes back on a different sort of allegations and is remanded in custody. That is not a violation of rule of law. And if any lawyers ask you this. 2, if a person is standing trial by one agency and another agency has a set of allegations against him and is arraigned before them, that also is not against rule of law. But what narrative they are sending out, and this is why I tell people that anybody who's fighting corruption must be ready also to face corruption fighting back. What we are witnessing today is corruption fighting back.
Is it also not interesting, Alhaji? Last year, about August last year, the PDP sent a statement saying that they appealed to the president to intervene. So far, statistics show clearly that the EFCC has only arrested members of the PDP, those who have served in government before, but there are APC governors, members of the APC who have served in various governments. They have been left alone. Some of these APC governors were also, some of them have served in the PDP government. And the party, the PDP, had said clearly that they believe if the government is very serious on anti-corruption, it cannot be one-sided. It cannot be selective. We've heard Konesambo Dasuki says that his continued detention is backed by President Muhammad Buhari.
You see, these allegations are not backed by facts. See, I won't commit libel here and say X, Y, Z is today facing corruption charges. But Sheung, I challenge you to go to the EFCC today and ask them who are the people that are facing, charges before them, and you are going to find as many APC as you're going to find as many PDP. However, you see, what gives the impression that this particular fight is one-sided is the fact that it is simply one issue that is being investigated now. That is money meant to buy arms, which was diverted for other uses. And unfortunately, everybody involved in that happened to be PDP, from the NSA. But why would we have known whom the NSA gave the money to if he did not tell the world? How do we know those he had named? So when you trace this thing, because it's all to do with just one particular transaction, that is a contract for $2.1 billion that was awarded to equip our soldiers, buy them helicopters, buy them, arms and ammunition, and equip them. It is from this money, that this fund, that all these spin-offs, everybody today that you have shown us here, they've been mentioned as a result of that investigation from that single, transaction.
So where have we gone? How far have we gone on this particular case? That seems to be the biggest one on the hands of President Buhari to fight, isn't it?
Well, you see, like I said, our experience and the records show that it takes between 34 days and 7 years to convict a low-profile criminal. But when that criminal is high-profile, it will take as long as 10 years to infinity to convict him. So we have several times appealed to everybody, lawyers, judges, to please help us in this fight against corruption. We should not allow those who have been accused of corruption to explore the legal loopholes to continuously frustrate prosecution. That's why I said, if you accuse me of corruption, I should be in a hurry to prove my innocence. But what do we have? You accuse a high-profile politician or Nigerian of corruption. He hires the best lawyers. And before you know it, is granted bail. Shortly after, the lawyer goes back to court to argue for the release of his passport. It is released. Thereafter, he goes back to court and says he's suffering from high cholesterol, and he cannot be treated in Nigeria. He has to go to US or he has to go to Europe. They argue again, he's given his passport, he travels abroad. Some of them don't come back till 2-3 years later. And in the meantime, what do we have? We have a case that is not closed. Of course, we know there are many things that we need to do, like strengthening the capacity of the EFCC. Even in terms of funding, the EFCC needs to be better funded and better trained. But we must make a choice in Nigeria. It's either we want a good Nigeria, whereby we are going to be honest in our prosecution of corrupt people and allow issues such as religion and ethnicity to come in the way. Now, if a person is accused of corruption, let him be in a hurry to prove his innocence. He should stop employing, delay tactics to frustrate prosecution. Determination of a case does not mean it's only when you are found guilty. You can terminate a case even when you are found innocent. But none of them are in a hurry to prove their innocence. On the contrary, they are experts in delaying and frustrating, their prosecution. At times, they look at the matter and then they go and file, complaints that they don't trust the judges. Then they have to reassign the judge. A whole lot of things. But what we are saying is that we will not be deterred. But we want Nigerians to join us in this fight against corruption.
All right, we'll take another moment. And when we return, more issues on the state of the Nigeria economy and more. Stay with us.